So the year is about 1987, and I'm just a wee little lad in my bedroom playing guitar. And up to this point, I had been primarily doing trying to play the glam rock thing and the Van Halen thing. But my older brother Jim, brought this album called The Cult Electric. Brought it to me, played it for me. My mind was blown. I loved it. It was so different from everything that was going on at the time. It was just so raw. It was just so rock and roll, for lack of a better term. And at that time, a lot of people thought that rock was completely dying. It was all shredding all the time. I heard Billy Duffy's guitar tone on this album. Every song on this album is fantastic. If you're the type that doesn't generally listen to the entire album of a band, if you pull up The Cult Electric, you'll love every song on it. It's just fantastic. But this particular song, I heard the guitar, and it struck this gigantic nerve with me. And even to this day, a lot of times I'll pick up a guitar, and this is the riff that I'll play. It's just that rock in your face riff. So I believe Billy used, I don't know if he used a Gretsch or a Les Paul on it. I'm going to use a Les Paul. I don't have a Gretsch or a semi-hollow. And I think he used either a Plexi or JCM 800, just conflicting stories. And I sent a message to Billy, but I haven't heard back from him yet. So unfortunately, I don't know. If I hear back from him by the time we're done editing, before we're done editing this video, I'll throw it in the video. But anyways, he was using a Marshall of some sort. Rumor is that it was all rented stuff. Just nailed the album and just rocked it out. Yeah, pretty fascinating. Pretty great album. So let's try to chase this tone. Of course, I could use a Marshall or like the Friedman JCM 800 style amp or something. I have a Shaw Plexi over here that fantastic Plexi sound, but not everyone is going to have a Plexi like that. So I thought, you know what, let's try to chase this using pedals. The pedal that I ended up choosing was my Plexi Drive Deluxe, simply because I'm really familiar with it, obviously. I knew what I kind of need to do. I need to take off a bit of bottom end, quite a bit of bottom end. The isolated track does not have that much bottom end, has quite a bit of treble in it, doesn't have a whole lot of gain to it actually. But the beginning part is left and right, so two stereo guitar parts. A cool thing about it, I've noticed when I was doing some research for this, people were asking, I think it was on like an Axe-Fx forum, they're trying to figure out how to get the air around it. A big trick to that is room mics. You can use room impulse responses. In fact, I'm using Celestion impulse responses on this and the Celestion room impulse response. And it gives that right amount of air. You got to mix it in a little hotter than you normally would. And it just sounds right. It gives you that air to that guitar sound. So cool little feature. If you're into impulse responses, try that. It's a fun little trick. Let's go ahead and try to chase some of this tone. I'll show you some of the isolated tracks and some of the parts in the isolated tracks that I particularly found were extremely interesting and very cool. And we'll jump into it. Let's go. All right, so let's take a look at the isolated tracks of this. First of all, let's go through the basics. We got the awesome drum sound. And so that's the great rock drum sound. Now, let's listen to a bit of the bass guitar. So yeah, it's got a little bit of dirt on it, a little bit of grind. Sounds great. A little bit of the vocals.
Shock this one. Fell to the red room because she was there. Oh, Scotty woman, she got me in fear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She said, do all those things that you do to me. You know what I mean, boy?
Oh man, love it. Just that is the song. Little cool part here. In the context of the song, I never noticed this part before, but it's kind of cool. So it's over the chorus, right? And let's listen to what's going on. Never noticed there was clapping there. I mean, makes sense in the context of everything, yeah. Yeah, I get it. It works. It works great, man. Okay, and for arguably my favorite part, the guitar, right? Let's listen to the amazing tone that Billy gets here. So if you listen, I talked about this a little bit earlier. If you listen, you can hear the room ambient mic. And I'll show you that whenever I do my bit on the guitar. When you bring that room ambient mic in, it gives that air to it. Okay, so now we're at basically the chorus, right? Something I noticed. The main part of the song, the very beginning, that part, standard tuning, not a big deal. Once we get to the chorus, there's additional guitars added that are not in standard tuning. They're a few cents up. I don't know why. Again, I sent a message to Billy, but I have not heard back from him yet. I just noticed when I was trying to recreate, I'm like, this is a few cents off. Like, completely. It just didn't work at all staying in standard tune. But in the context of the song, it works perfectly. I'll show you what part I'm talking about. And it goes back into standard. The main guitar part's back right on 440. So I thought that was cool. That was awesome. I would love to hear the backstory behind that. Maybe, maybe I thought this would sound awesome if this is not perfect. It's just tune it close and let's make it work. I don't know, but so it works great within the song. Oh, now let's get into some of the solo stuff. The little licks are really cool because when it's hard panned on one side and the other side is a lot of room ambience in the other speaker. So I'll show you that real quick. Okay, so it's got some delay on it too. So let me pan that hard left. So hopefully you're listening to this on iBuds and not like your little iPhone speaker, because you won't be able to tell what I'm trying to show here. But listen to just the echo part of the little lick. So I thought that was extremely fascinating. I just love those little tidbits, and it does that for the first couple licks. And back into the chorus, of course. All right, so let's go to the guitar solo and check this out. Fantastic. It's not a virtuoso thing, which I love. In a time of a sea of guitar players who are shredding like crazy and just doing all these, finger acrobatics, you have Billy Duffy here who just rocks your off, basically. Like he just brings the rock. He does, yes. And so right there, that's when the second guitar comes in. So yeah, oh, just awesome part. And then we get towards the end of the song, and there's another big long guitar solo there. Now, within the context of the song, it sounded like it just sounds like a lot going on. Once I isolated, I'm like, oh wow, it's cool. So let's isolate that guitar a little bit and. So yeah, that's, you know, and the song itself fades out. Just a very cool ending. And I noticed, like, on some of the solo stuff, it sounds like he's hitting it with a boost of some sort. Might be a tube screamer, I don't know. If I had to guess, it's probably like a tube screamer type thing hitting the front end of that plexi. And, all right, so let's try to achieve it. Come on. All right, so I'm getting ready to turn the gain up on this guy. Actually, I already did. I'm going to roll the gain to about right there, so I'm not changing anything else, because this part for the chorus requires a little more gain. Then once we get to the solo, I'm going to roll that back. Got that boost all the way up. It's a tube screamer style boost, so you know, I could put a tube screamer in front of it and get pretty much the same sort of thing. So let's go ahead and roll that back up there, and we'll do it. All right, so here's my guitar part you heard at the beginning of the video, me playing it. I'll play it again real quick, layered, and then we'll fade into the chorus, and we'll do the solo. So here's what we got so far. Okay, so for the chorus here, I've tuned up just I don't know, maybe 3 cents or so. Not real sure. I basically did it by ear. So I'm a little bit higher in above 440, but that's what Billy did. So that's what we're gonna do. And here you go. All right, so now let's jump to the fun stuff. Let's let's go to the solo section. I have both channels on the Plexi Drive Deluxe, and we'll run through that real quick, and I'll do my best. Alright, so let's compare what we have so far, and finally, I guess you could say. All right, here are the tracks that I did. Actually, let's start with Billy's stuff. Let's start with his stuff. And let's go to my stuff here. Back to Billy's tone. So, fairly close. I mean, pretty close for a 9-volt pedal, I would say. Let's go on to the chorus here. Billy's part goes like this. And my part would be like this. And the guitar solo, pull my guitar solo out, and this is all Billy here. All right, so that's Billy, and let's take him out, put me in. All right, yeah, so very cool. Anyways, I hope you guys like this sort of video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know a lot of you out there have played this song, and I've seen people ask me about this type of song, actually this particular song and this particular tone. So I thought it might be entertaining and fun to do that. So I would love to, what I'm trying to say, I guess, and that shows, I would love to hear what stuff you guys use, you guys and gals, to get this sort of tone. And you know, whether it's pedals, whether it's amps, whatever it may be, I would love to hear your thoughts on what you guys use to get it. And hope you like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. And we'll see you next week with a new video. Thanks for watching.